Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sherwood Shakeup. I'm your host, Matt Weinglass, and we have a very special show planned for you guys today. This is going to be our first annual Sherwood Shakeup pre-Oscar special. So, yeah, we're really excited about this because we got the Oscars coming up this weekend, and we thought we would just dive into some stuff, talk about what's happening, talk about the nominees. We got a game plan for you guys a little later. We have a very special guest. We had interview of Jeffrey Gund from InfoList, who's got a pre-Oscar event coming up in a few days. And we want to talk to you guys about that because Sherwood Players will be there and just kind of maneuver through the Hollywood scene and how things are looking right now, how the climate has changed over the years since the Oscars have been around several years. And here we are now at 2023. And let's just kind of get a sense of the landscape. And the best way that we can do that is by bringing in our co-host for this evening's festivities, Lizette Santiago. Hi, Lizette.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt.
Oh, wow.
I'm here. Got all my Oscars ready to go.
Look at you with your Oscars. Wow, Lizette, you look like you are ready, or you've already won a few, I guess.
I guess so. Didn't even know, but hey.
Didn't even know. You're too busy doing the work. You're not. You have no time to celebrate and receive praise. You're just doing the work.
No, I don't even. I don't remember going on stage receiving any of them. I guess my reps did it, and I'm they're all at my place now. So.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
So, manifesting.
Exactly. We all have to manifest. And I know this, and a lot of people know as actors, you come to LA and you have the dreams of success and stardom. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, God, that ultimate place to get to is the stage, the Oscar stage, receiving that actor award or the director award, or just being acknowledged for that. That is like the highest echelon. That's what we were taught, or at least I remember that was the whole thing. And so that's like the ultimate place. Did you feel the same way? That was kind of the thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I remember one time my mom brought me to California the first time I came to LA when I was 9, and it was good and bad. Her best friend had died, and we came for that. But then when we were out here, my mom was like, well, let's try to get you some auditions, because I was acting as a kid. Let's, then she took me to Universal Studios, and we went into the gift shop, and I saw one of the fake replica Oscars that they sell at the souvenir shop. And I just fell in love with it. And it said Best Actress. And my mom saw me looking at it, and she's like, do you like that? Do you want me to get it for you? And I said, Mom, yeah, I'm in awe of it. I love it. And she bought it for me, and I have it to this day. So
very cool. Very cool, Lizette.
Yeah.
That's it's such an inspiring story. And here we are. We're looking at the Oscars are coming up this Sunday, and what a great show idea! I love this idea that we're just going to chat about this stuff and just have a kind of a conversation. We're going to be playing this game in a little bit. It's kind of guessing the team Matt versus team Lizette, but we're going to get to all that a little later. And our special guest Jeff, we're going to be doing an interview with him. I had a chance to sit down with him and talk about the pre-Oscar celebrations this week. But first, can we just reflect on last week's episode real quick, Lizette? Because I loved that conversation we had. We had Patrick Kilpatrick on, and we were talking politics in Hollywood. What were your impressions of that? How did that go on your end, you think?
I mean, I learned a lot from him, and what he felt about it. And we all have our opinions to stuff. We're all entitled to things and to state how we feel, but also we don't want to offend anybody around us. That's not why we even do the show. We want to talk about things, but we don't want to offend anybody. And we talked about, and we knew this too, you and I, Matt, going into doing that show, that particular episode, that whenever you talk politics or religion, there can be a little opinions from other people, good and bad. So it's just something that I guess happened. And I mean, I personally don't want to offend any race, any nationality, gender, anything like that. So my apologies if anybody out there was offended from our show last week. Hopefully, if you are, I hope you can understand that it wasn't at all our purpose to do that to anybody or make anyone feel that way, period. So
Well said. And I'll back that up 100%. And I will add to that, Lizette, that we at Sherwood, what we are doing, our intention is to create a platform where people can share ideas, have a voice. And in some situations, like the show itself, this Sherwood Shakeup show is a platform that we can have conversations, have debates.
Absolutely.
Sometimes if somebody's saying something that you might disagree with, we can counter it and have these discussions. They can sometimes even become debates, and that's okay. I think those are healthy things. So what I will say to everyone out there is that we are working hard every week on building content, bringing in guests like Patrick that had strong opinions. We love having guests on with strong opinions because we can have conversations with them. And so we're getting better at our tech, better at how we have back and forth. We don't want we want to be able to chime in. And I think we did have some tech issues last week, so I will mention that. And we're working on those where we can have more of an actual conversation. Especially it is hard with the screens. I mean, you're in a screen, I'm in a screen right now, and we want to have real banter, like real authentic dialogue. And that's what we're aiming for here at Sherwood.
And we had Patrick on audio. He wasn't even in, the actual online. I mean, well, he was online with us, but not visually. So there was a little, that might have been a problem here and there, but he's busy. So we had to do what we could to get him on the show. And at least we had him on the show. And we thank Patrick for obviously being on the show and stating everything he felt. And, he did say great things about solutions and, finding the medium that not everybody's going to be happy one way or the other. You may have this and we can find a solution, a resolution to a problem that we have, but some people may feel okay about it and some people may not feel okay about it, even though we made a mutual solution. So that's true. And it kind of made me think, I'm like, wow, even if we all agreed on something, to help everybody feel better, not each party is going to be happy about that too. So that was a good point made that I was like,
absolutely. Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's move into the Oscar talk for today on our pre-Oscar special. I'm Matt Weinglass. I'm with co-host Lizette Santiago.
Yes.
And let's
got my gown on too.
Oh my God! Yes. Hey, we got a little looking nice for this.
You look good, Matt.
Oh man, yeah, no, you do too. I think we're ready for our red carpet.
I think so.
Let's do it. Okay, we're diving in right now. So when we look back at the Oscars, we see that the viewership has certainly dropped over the years. And that is interesting when you look at it. I mean, we have, a steady decline, especially in the last 20 years, very, very steadily. We were used to, if you go back to the year 2000, beginning of the millennium, you have like 46 million people watching this thing every year. And, that number 42, 41 each year, it kind of took a dip in 2003, but it went back to the 40. So you're kind of hanging around the 43 million mark throughout the early 2000s. And I think the high point we see is at 2014. It was the last time it was over the 40 million mark, 43 million. From that point on, and we need to look at this over the last 8 years or so, it's taken this slow dip down to 36 million in 2015, down to 34, 32. By 2018, 26 million. And what we saw was a major, major drop off in viewership 2 years ago. And it's hard to say, is that because of the lockdown? Is that because of other elements of people getting canceled? I mean, we know that we're in this canceled culture. I know that there was an incident where Kevin Hart was going to host and they pulled him, and they said you could host if you apologize for what you said, and then we'll let you host. And I think he ended up apologizing. And then he declined. He said, I will apologize and I will not come on because the fact that you put me in a situation where I had to beg you to let me keep the job. And I think at that point, the Oscars were like, you know what? We don't even need a host. And that might have been the big mistake. So we saw in 2021, we see 10 million viewership. That is an excessive drop off from that 40 million that we used to have just a few years back. So here we are now. I don't know. Like last year was a little bit of a rise. I think it might have had. So we had like 15 million watch it a year ago. So I mean that was 2022. So, but something's going on there, Lizette. What do you think? I just threw a bunch of numbers at you, but what do you think?
I think people are kind of getting sick and tired of what we discussed last week, the politics. in Hollywood, and how the Academy Awards are no longer about, this what they used to be. Now it's like, why weren't certain people nominated, and based on their culture or their race, and it's just becoming too political. And I think that's become a little bit of problem for people. Like, yeah, Kevin Hart's situation where he had to apologize. He was giving an ultimatum because of something he said that was out of line. And that kind of sucks. I mean, yes, he shouldn't have said that, but at the same time, why hold it against him? There's people who do a lot of stuff. And I mean, it's not right either. The Academy Awards probably are the most prestigious awards in the entertainment industry. So they want to look good, but I just feel like every year there's something different that's making it worse and worse. As we talked about in the beginning, I love the Oscars every year. That's my favorite. There's two things I love: the Olympics and the Oscars, and the SAG Awards too. I guess three, but sometimes the Emmys. but honestly, Oscars and Olympics for me personally, I'm more passionate about. And I personally don't look forward to them anymore like I used to. It's kind of sad, that would always, I would schedule my life around the Oscars. I want to, see the pre-shows and the red carpet before the show actually started. And now I'm like, okay, it's not as fun as it used to be for me personally. So if I feel that way, I'm sure other people are starting to feel that way too, because there's just so much politics involved in the Oscars now that it's getting out of control, So
let's talk about politics at the Oscars, because I want to remind people, I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but back in, like, we're talking years ago, Marlon Brando, and he's obviously one of the most acclaimed actors of all the last several generations of all time, really. He's one of the most acclaimed in all of Hollywood. And people know about Godfather. They know he won Best Actor for Godfather in 1973. I think what a lot of people don't know is that when it came to the Oscars in 1973, when it was time to accept the award for Best Actor, and at the time, a lot of people, nobody really questioned that he wasn't going to get the award. He was definitely the buzz of the town. Marlon Brando was going to get Best Actor. He deliberately did not show up that day, and he put somebody in his place to accept the award. And who he chose was a Native American rights activist at the time. Her name was Sasheen Littlefeather, and she got up on that stage and gave it's pretty incredible what she did. And she went up there and, well, let's just say people in the room were not happy, and they didn't see it coming. Why don't we play a clip from that? There's a lot of people I know personally. I told them about this. They don't even know this happened. So anybody watch this right now, this happened at the Academy Awards in 1973. Marlon Brando's win. Here we go.
Wow, that was incredible. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Did you hear the room? The room, they were split. They were split.
It was divided. Half was like, yay, and half was like, no. So wow. I thought that was amazing of Marlon Brando and her. She did a great speech,
Absolutely. And like the fact, and people don't know about this because they don't talk about this. I think the problem with Hollywood right now and these award shows is that you have this fake type of activism that'll happen every once in a while where people, they say the thing that Hollywood wants you to say. And that's upsetting people outside of Hollywood. You see it. You see people talking shit about our industry all the time. And the butt of the joke is and let's just be blunt here. We hear this all the time. They talk about Hollywood and they talk about, oh, those pretentious actors and their stupid award shows, and how, my God, how ridiculous has it gotten? And all those trying to be activists. You know what they're talking? They're not talking about this stuff. They're not talking about Marlon Brando. What he did was incredible. Doing that was incredible. That was standing up to the establishment.
That was very brave.
That was not him doing the thing that Hollywood wanted him to do. There's a huge difference. So let's look at the types of people now that are doing this activism. They're not really doing it. They're saying the thing, they're saying the popular thing at the time. Robert De Niro got on stage a few years ago and said, "Fuck Trump." And the whole room went wild. And it's like, that doesn't take any balls. I'm sorry. That's everyone's saying that. There's nothing
Yeah.
courageous about getting on stage and saying "fuck Trump," and the whole room goes crazy. I don't. And there's so many examples of that it's tiresome, and to even for anyone to even think that that qualifies as activism is crazy to me. And we deserve the labels we get from people that are like, screw Hollywood and all their pretentious shows where they're going to pretend to be caring about stuff. That's not anything bold to do that. What is bold is what Marlon Brando did in 1973. I can't think of. Can you think of another more recent example of somebody doing something bold? I have one in my head. I just want to see if you had one.
Well, I have a bad one in my head that happened, but
well, I think I know what you're referring to. Let's get to that in a second. I'm going to just give one more example. I don't have a clip of it, but I want to, if anybody that's old and that remembers 2004 when Michael Moore accepted Best Documentary.
Right.
And he went up on the stage, and that was for Bowling for Columbine from 2003. So he goes up there. You remember the climate at the time. So this is basically late February, early March 2004. And what's happened is that we've been now in Iraq for a year, and there's starting to be some anger. People are like, we're not really behind this. Everybody was behind it. We went and invaded Iraq a year before. So he's coming on stage, accepting a nominee or accepting an award for Bowling for Columbine, which is a documentary about school violence. On the stage, he's basically he does a little plug for his next film, which is Fahrenheit 9/11. And on the stage, he knew that this is my moment, because he knew next year, this time, he's not going to be on that stage. He knew they were going to shut out his film, the next film, because that was Fahrenheit 9/11 was going to push all the limits. And so he knew that was the only moment he had, was before his next film came out. So he got on the stage at the Academy Awards and he said, "We're in Iraq for oil. It's money, and it's not for democracy." And he got more boos than at least as many as with Brando's with Sasheen Littlefeather just now that we just watched. So I don't remember anything since then. That was 2004. I can't think of another moment where somebody spoke up against the establishment.
Yeah, everything else has just been like mistakes that the Academy, just bad, and they announced the wrong movie or the wrong actor, or what was the one? Actually, the one with Marissa Tomei.
So that's a classic one. That was Jack Palance giving the award for Best Supporting Actor. That was 1992. So that was a while back. And the winner he announced was Marissa Tomei for My Cousin Vinny. And there was a rumor going around that he did not read the correct name off of the card. And he never, to the day he died, when Jack Palance passed away, he never came clean about it, or it might have just been a rumor. Nobody will ever know. So it's kind of like that like old wives' tale it's become about, did Marissa Tomei actually win? But that's like you're saying, that goes in the category of just these, I don't know if you call it a stunt or a goof,
And again, a little bit of politics there, because if she wasn't the right winner, then why, because someone messed up, they just stuck with it? Or why are you making her feel like she didn't really win it if she did? I mean, it's a weird, I really felt bad for her. I still feel bad for her because she's a really good actress and she deserved it too. So if she won, great. If she didn't, great. But I mean, whatever. But she really deserved it no matter what. And it sucks that she has to deal with that her whole life because of that situation. It's just wrong. It's just bad,
it is wrong. And like you said, there's been so many times other mistakes and goofs, and it's really hard to make up for it if in the moment you get it wrong and you miss it. How is that fair? So
with the La La Land too, that was one too. Remember La La Land? And what was the other one?
That's right.
They announced the wrong movie.
Accidentally announcing the wrong Best Picture. What?
The wrong that was bad.
What in the hell? That was that was for the 2016 best film.
What was it? Warren Beatty who read it wrong? Or
Warren
something?
Beatty read the wrong. Unbelievable. So so we've had slip ups, we've had goofs, we've had real activism, we've had fake activism, we've had everything at the awards. But for some reason, the Oscars have really dropped off in viewership. Last year, it went up just a bit. And there was an incident we all know from last year that sticks out. And that is the famous slap. I guess we're calling it the slap.
This Oscar slap, or we could come up with a fancier term for it. The Academy slap.
I've heard it just called the slap. It's like that well known.
Annual slap. Because it was last year. This year's the 23rd Oscars, right? 23rd.
This is the 2023. So that was a year ago now. The 2022 Oscars for the best films of 2021. And so Chris Rock comes up on the stage and does what everyone does, makes a few jokes. And apparently there's a joke that didn't sit well. I would like to revisit this moment because we see these little tiny excerpts played all the time of like the actual slap or the moment right before. But I want to see what he did. What was so wrong or off, or was what happened? Like, I don't know. Is it 1 year later? I think it'd be nice to reflect on it.
And I think a lot of people, including myself, when we watched it, I thought it was a spoof. I thought it was just they were making a little comedic routine thing. And when I realized, oh no, this is really real. Like, this really happened. It was just, wow. Taken away.
Let's watch Chris Rock's entire bit, because we know he's had some commentary on it since, and we'll get to that in a second. But I just want to reflect 1 year later, the Oscars of last year, 2022. This is Chris Rock's entire bit that leads up to the infamous slap.
But now, let's please welcome Chris Rock.
Yes. Wow, what a night. Everybody, no one's wearing a mask. Just breathing raw dog tonight. Wow. Denzel, Macbeth, loved it. I love the part where it said, King Lear don't got nothing on me. Y'all got to see it. It's really good. You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. So we are here to give a documentary out, to give an Oscar out for Best Documentary. Now, the beauty of documentaries, because they make you, when you watch one, you feel smart. Like you watched like you read a book or something. But all you really did was get high and watch Netflix. So here we go. The documentaries, the nominees are, let's just go to the nominees.
Wow. Incredible. Did you hear the pause? The silence after he realized himself, Chris Rock, what happened to him? He lost it for a second. He didn't know. And Matt, you've hosted stuff. I've hosted a lot of things. I host a lot of film festivals, and I know what it's like to be on the stage and have to hold yourself together and keep it together. You are the host. You're doing this, and if someone did that to me, if someone came on stage and slapped me, I mean, kudos to Chris Rock. like him, I probably wouldn't want to punch them back, but you're the host. You have to keep it together. And he held it together. It took him a second to accept it. Like any human being emotionally gets, like what just happened, And then when you realize it, he regained himself and he continued with the show. And that's amazing that he did that, because I'm surprised they didn't stop the show for a little bit and go into commercial break or something right away. They just let him, they kind of just let him be. I don't know. It was
I'm going to give a take. Like this just seeing this again a whole year later, and I didn't watch that clip. By the way, this is the first time I've seen it. I just pulled it, and I wanted to kind of have fresh eyes right now. And my take is pretty much exactly the same as I had a year ago, and that is there is something wrong in Hollywood where there's an imbalance of power. So Will Smith carries a certain amount of power where they're not going to cut to a commercial. They're not going to escort him out. They're going to look for ways to deflect and downplay what happened. And what that does, it does a lot of damage. So we can talk all day about Will Smith, and punishing him and Jada and people going to the extent of saying Chris Rock was out of line for the joke. I mean, ridiculous shit. These are all deflections. I don't care about Will Smith and Jada's relationship. I don't. And if you want to say Chris Rock went too far as a host, it's bullshit. Let's put all that noise aside and look at the real problem here is the institution of power, because they are not going to do the right thing, and it's going to hurt other people in other areas. It's going to hurt comedy. I saw comedy get affected everywhere across the board when this happened, because it sent a message, it sent a signal. The Hollywood elite is sending a signal to other lower end comedians, people not as high up as Chris Rock, not nearly as high up as Will Smith. And they're sending them a message that this is okay, that watch your mouth, your mouth, or you might get attacked. And they're going to have a right to do that because they were offended by something you did. That's Hollywood's fault. That's the institution's fault. And those are the people to be the most mad at, who didn't cut to a commercial and who didn't escort Will Smith right out. Now, do I think he should have not won Best Actor? Absolutely not. That's a whole nother conversation.
Whatever. Yeah,
you give him his Oscar, but guess what? He'll have to he'll have to send in his acceptance speech the next day.
Yep.
But you give him his Oscar. He had the best performance by far. Looking for what was it called? Richard. I mixed it up with another. He was playing the Williams sisters' father. It was an incredible performance. King Richard.
Yep.
It was an incredible performance. He deserves the Oscar. But with that behavior, you were out of there. I'm sorry. You can accept it from home, and you can send in your speech the next day if you want.
Wasn't it like a lot of beauty pageants when there was I forgot which one specifically it was, where she won? I think it was Vanessa Williams. I think it was her that she did Playboy or something like that, and they took away her crown. Like
that happened.
That happened, right? I'm like, well, why don't we do that too? Like he won it, I guess. He deserves it, like you said, but maybe we kind of should punish him. And they kind of did when they said he wasn't allowed to come to the Oscars, for a while. He was banned for a little bit. But apparently, I guess that's not happening anymore. So I don't know.
They missed the moment. The moment was for security to step up and to say, we don't tolerate violence.
Yeah, at all.
Don't tolerate violence.
And it wasn't even just violence. He was also cursing, verbal abuse too. He was cursing at him. Yeah. And this is on TV, televised, and he's using the F word twice. Yeah. Just despicable.
So we were reminded by my brother Jeremy. He showed the movie that was screwed over by it was Moonlight. That's right, Jeremy. Jeremy says Moonlight. That was the other one. That was the controversy with La La Land.
Yes, that was the one. Yep. That was one. Yep. Yeah. And Matt, I hate to say it too, like, I believe Jimmy Kimmel's hosting this year, right? This Oscar is Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah. I know he's going to probably bring that up and stuff, but if the tables were turned, it was Jimmy Kimmel and Chris Rock and Will Smith came up and slapped him. Oh my God, that would be even way worse too. It'd be a whole new,
another
that riots everything. It would be so bad. I mean, so bad. But what made me really mad was that last year's Oscar was the first time there was a panel producers, you know, minority producers, you know, and the first time ever, something to be proud of, and then that situation happens. I felt so bad for them. I felt so bad for the producers that year, except for the fact that they didn't kick them out. But I felt really bad because this is the first time where we can, you know, change it up in Hollywood, and then this situation happens. And I know people were thinking, see, we can't do it that way. It's just hard to. I really felt bad for the producers. I know they were in a tough position, you know, two strong stars, Chris Rock, Will Smith, but I don't know. I felt like the producers were I think they interviewed one of them and they looked like they were going to cry. I really felt bad for them because this was a proud moment for them. And this situation happened and it just messed up everything.
Yeah.
It messed up everything. So
these type of moments, I mean, we've talked about all this now, the goofs, the mistakes, the bullshit interruptions, the gaffes we've talked about. The activism, the fake activism. So we've seen all this up and down over the years. We know that viewership has dropped with the Academy Awards. We've seen them say, you know what? We don't even need a host. Fuck it. We don't even need a host. And that didn't work. So
that
look,
did not work.
the only way to save this event and make this thing prestigious again is two things have to happen. One is they have to allow a platform where people can have their moment.
Yeah.
Their moment, get their award, to speak their mind. If it's a comedian, tell their joke without interruption. Accept your award, give your award speech without interruption. If you want to say something powerful, if you have something to say, you say it. If you're only speaking on behalf of the institution, behalf of the establishment, probably not going to go over well because you're not really doing anything that heroic. So these are all really good suggestions I would give the Academy if they want to get viewership back up.
Yep. And you know what's funny? It's usually a comedian who hosts the Oscars because, let's be honest, they can go on forever and they can be a little, you know, tedious and sometimes a little boring if you don't have a comedian but they try to do it with an actor and actress one year when they did Anne Hathaway and oh my God, James Franco.
Yeah.
And they just, that was another situation.
That was another failure. Yeah.
Huge failure.
I think
huge failure. But that was the first time they tried it with an actor and an actress hosting, and it didn't go over well. So obviously we need those comedians to host because it brings the, you know, the show up. It makes people feel lively about it. I mean, Ellen DeGeneres was a host too one year of the Oscars, and I thought she did fantastic. That was probably one of my favorite shows because I love when comedians, you know, talk to the audience. I love when they go out there and engage, and she would engage with everybody. She had the pizza delivery guy. Remember that? The pizza guy delivered pizza to everybody in the audience. That kid became famous. But it's like, I mean, that's fun, you know, but she kept it light and she kept it fun, and she was standing up for a lot of stuff too. And, you know, everybody was happy to see her host, and so was I, because I know she gets a lot of, you know, everyone is not a big fan of hers right now, but at the time everybody was supporting her because she was doing something unique at that time too, you know. So
cool.
But yeah.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit here. So we're doing the Sherwood Players Shakeup Oscar special. I'm Matt Weinglass. I'm here with co-host Lizette Santiago. We're talking all Oscar news, Oscar gossip, Oscar politics, everything Oscars this week on the Sherwood Shakeup. And I'd like to let's switch gears right now. I want to talk about the happenings around the Oscars. I want to talk about the events, the networking opportunities, everything leading up to it, all these different places we might want to be present at as we are trying to elevate and do the things that you and I talked about earlier, Lizette, about, you know, that the trajectory of our careers that we envision one day being on that stage. How can you keep elevating your career? Obviously, you're doing the work, you're getting into projects, you're getting meaty roles. Hopefully, you're getting your stuff out there. But at the same time, you got to network and you got to build relationships. So where are the best places to be right now? There's a whole list of them. If you want to go look for an Oscar party or look for something to go engage and build your network, there's a lot of ones we can go through. But I do have one in particular I want to highlight because this is one we've participated in. It's happening right here in West Hollywood, and it's hosted by it's a regular occurrence now every Oscar. It's a pre-Oscar soiree. It happens at the Sky Bar. It's always the Thursday before the Oscar. So this is coming up in 2 days, and it's hosted by Jeffrey R. Gund of InfoList. It's an excellent opportunity to network and be where the stars are, because he has guests there all the time every year that are going right from his party to the Oscars. They actually will be in the Oscar building at the Dolby. Yep. So with that said, I would like to let's have Jeff Gunn. He's going to talk. I actually had a chance to catch up with him to talk Oscars and to talk about his InfoList group and the events that they plan, and they do it all around the year. And we're excited to hear what he has to say. So let's go ahead and check out Jeffrey Gunn from InfoList. And I had a chance to talk with him earlier this week. Here we go. Hey, Jeff, it's so good to be talking with you. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy day to be on the show with us.
Hey, Matt, good to be aboard. Good to see you again. It's been a while. I've been to many of your events in the past, which were always great, and met some great people there too. So,
yes, you have, Jeff. You've been actually a guest speaker at a past workshop we had pre-COVID, pre-pandemic times. But we've been happy to get things back in person and doing in interactive events and things like that we've always known and loved pre-pandemic. And I'm sure you've been happy to get back to in interactive face-to-face happenings as well. I know that InfoList has been an awesome thing that you put together several years ago. I like to hear about that. Can you dive into InfoList and how it started and how these events, like this pre-Oscar event coming up, where did the origins of that come from?
Yeah, well, the pre-Oscar event is one of my bigger events throughout the year. We do a number of events. We do a pre-Oscars, a pre-Emmys, a pre-Comic-Con, and the idea is just to get great people together to network, to meet, to get their projects done, to help other people get their projects done. And they've grown to the point we get, literally like A-list writers and producers from huge blockbuster films, from Oscar-winning, Oscar-nominated films for the Oscar one. And, the Comic-Con one is one of my other pretty big ones. Like Stan Lee's company has been a part of it every year. Writers and producers of X-Men, Iron Man, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy all come to that one. Similar with the Emmys, we get a bunch of big TV people. And even like with my Oscars, even though the focus is on film and film industry, there's still a ton of like major TV people that come, people from music, from fashion. We've got everything from like record producers who do stuff with major acts like BTS coming, record executives who've worked with everyone from Journey and Bruce Springsteen to more current acts as well. So many. I'm blanking on the names of everybody, but we've got iconic guys like David Zucker, who's literally created an entire genre of filmmaking. But he actually created the whole spoof type of films with like Airplane and Naked Gun and those kind of things. Exactly. The movie and things like that. So he's an icon, and he's just an awesome guy, and he comes to many of my events. So looking forward to seeing him at this one. And then this one we've got also like writers of Oscar nominated films like Meet the Parents. We've also got David Hayter, who did like X-Men films. So we've got a bunch of big people coming. I'm really looking forward to it. We've got red carpet and presses there, but what's different, I think, about these events than many other events, like you can go to like panels and stuff at Comic-Con and see some of these people, but like if they're not like ushered off stage before you even get to talk to them, or in the cases where they do hang out and talk to people, it's like a line of people and you get to meet them for like 10 seconds. Here's my card. What can you do for me? Okay, thanks. Bye. But what's great about these events is not only do you get to just hang out in a relaxed, fun atmosphere, you can talk to them for 10 seconds, 10 minutes, or 3 hours if you want. As long as they're not like, why are you still talking to me? But yeah, in general, it's just relaxed, fun atmosphere where you get to really meet, really make an actual connection with these people, which makes all the difference. Because making stuff happen in Hollywood is not about, here's my card, what can you do for me? It's about making real connections, a real relationship, getting to know the actual person.
I love how you say that, Jeff. And just people know, like, I've been to your events in the past, and it's exactly, I'll say directly from my personal experience, this is the environment that you've created. When we come together in these environments, it's all about how do you present that environment, and you absolutely do a fantastic job of making it feel relaxed, comfortable, very professional. But yes, you can have these conversations, and I certainly have. I have networked and met a lot of people I know now from your past events. So I want to give you that credit, and we're very excited to be at this one coming up, this pre-Oscar one on Thursday. That's coming right up, Thursday the 9th at Sky Bar. This is a great location. How did you first get started doing them here? Because I think you're onto something. I think this is the place that kind of feels exactly like what we're talking about here, that comfortable, professional, relaxed place. How did you get into that Sky Bar environment to begin with?
I'd been doing events for a while, and I was always finding out about new venues and different places to try things. I'd actually met some of the management at Sky Bar. They happened to be at Sundance Film Festival where I was, and they were involved in one of the events up there, and we started talking, and like, oh, you do events, and so I thought, I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And it went really well. I realized, people actually really like that venue. It's a great venue because it's kind of a unique layout. It's like you've got kind of the pool outdoor vibe, but there's also like upstairs, kind of the hut, kind of like cabana, where it's a little more fancy schmancy. So it's kind of this great combination of outdoors and relaxed, but fancy at the same time. And you've got like a nice view of the whole city from the deck. And so, I've tried other venues, but somehow people seem to like Sky Bar more, so I keep going back. So I'll give them what they want. Good.
Very good. And you have a lot of people, they return to the next one because they are doing like what I'm saying. They're meeting people. They're elevating their own network. As they move and advance their own careers, they're able to actually have real relationships with these people that are professionals in the industry that we all want to kind of build our careers. So I applaud you for creating an environment for people to be able to do that. So well, there's a lot of people return and come to many events, which is great, because one of the great things about it is maybe there's someone you met at the last one and you get to see them at the next one and you reconnect, and whether it's one of the big name special guests, to reconnect with them has a lot of value, obviously, but also just reconnecting with the other general people. It's a good mix. Excellent. So like I said earlier, Jeff, I'm so excited to be at another one of these. This is actually the first one I'm going to be attending since the pandemic, the lockdown and everything. And like I saw you not able to do these events for a while, and it was frustrating that that we couldn't do our events. I was saying you couldn't do yours. A lot of people couldn't. How did that feel for you, like being that InfoList and these events? They're so important that they're interactive, that you don't do them on a Zoom thing, that you actually have people face to face. How did that affect you, and how did you maneuver through that?
Well, it was because for those who don't know, InfoList is it's an entire platform, because I don't just host events, but it all started with I post everything from entertainment industry jobs and opportunities for filmmakers and writers, casting stuff, a lot of big shows, commercials cast through me. So it's everything from casting to events, jobs and opportunities, to the networking events that I produce. But it was right when, Zoom became like the thing, and everyone was on Zoom, like all day long, every day. And it was already evident that like people had kind of some of the Zoom burnout and weren't really looking to do so much of that anymore. And there were a couple platforms I was looking at, because I wanted to do something that was a little different, a little unique, because that's kind of one of my criteria. Even my live events, I think there really aren't any other ones like them. So I wanted my online component to be the same way. I wasn't really finding the technology that allowed me to do that was like reliable. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wait it out for a little bit, see what happens. And then, lucky it took a little while, but events came back. Our first event back after COVID was, well, to put it mildly, we got a huge response. Everyone was just as excited as me to get back. And yeah, it was probably one of my biggest attended events ever. And unfortunately, it was even too big attended because we couldn't get everyone in. There was literally a line that filled up the entire lobby of the hotel and filled up the entire parking lot of the hotel all the way down the street. So everyone was really eager to get back out. And so while my apologies to everyone at that event, which was much larger than expected turnout. But now, over the last year, things have kind of normalized again and we're kind of back to normal. So we'll be full, but we won't be so full we can't get everyone in. So looking forward to that and looking forward to seeing everyone on the 9th when you come.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we're telling our Sherwood community about it, and anybody else who has or just stumbling on this right now, this InfoList event put on by Jeff Gunn, this is a remarkable opportunity to come together before the Oscars and network, celebrate, gear up for the big event, the event that we all want to be actually at the Oscars. And some people actually are going from your event to the Oscars that weekend. So it's a great place to be inspired, build relationships. How can people find this event and get tickets? Can they still get tickets?
Yes, you can. And to kind of elaborate a bit on what you said before is, because I actually do it a few days before the Oscars. There are some Oscars day parties, but I find it's actually much better to do it a couple days before, because then the big names are actually available. If you're doing it on Oscars day, they're at Vanity Fair, they're at, the Governor's Ball. They're not going to come to your thing, but I do it this way because actually, and just this morning, actually, I can't say who yet, but two pretty major celebrities have said, have RSVP'd. I still have to confirm, make sure they're coming and all that, but so got my fingers crossed for that. But either way, we've still got a huge lineup of amazing guests, and you can all get your tickets if you go to infolist.com, INFOLIST.com. And then you'll see right at the top will be the Pre-Oscar Soiree. You click that, and there'll be all the information on get discount tickets. We have some discounts available for people. So it's going to be a great night with a lot of great people. So InfoList is, they've grown a lot over the years, because when I first started doing events, they were, I wouldn't say small, but they were nice sized, but just intimate mixers. We didn't really have special guests. It was just getting industry people together. As they started growing, more and more famous people just started showing up, and then we started listing them as special guests in advance. And then as I started listing special guests, and other people started, hey, I see you have special guests, can I be one too? And so now they've grown into a pretty big deal. And one of my favorite things about InfoList is actually I had no intention of creating anything. It actually started, I used to make my living in the industry as a composer, writing music for films, TV shows, video games, and whatnot. And I was just doing a lot of networking with that, meeting a lot of people, and being a helpful friend. I would just let my friends know, oh, hey, I saw this job. I know you're looking. Here's the info. Send a resume if you want. Or here's a casting thing to my actor friends. And somehow I became known as the guy who kind of knew what was going on and started sending more and more things to more and more people. And then people started reaching out to me. Hey, Jeff, you know everyone, we're hiring. Can you send this out to your group? Sure, why not? And then the casting people found me. And so it was growing from there. And then I was actually growing so much that someone had actually built a website for me with the idea that this was supposed to, because it was actually getting in the way. It was so many emails, it's getting in the way of earning a living as a composer, because I'm now sending out emails full time. So someone had built a website for me with the idea this was supposed to save me time and automate the process a bit. Big mistake, because that just made the whole thing blow up, and then it was taking 10 times as much time. But since then, so it's grown, and now it's actually become my full-time job. And It does pay my bills, so I'm thankful for that. And thank you to everyone to support it and make it possible for me to keep doing all this and connecting everyone. But yeah, so that's the history of InfoList in a nutshell, and it's how we're able to bring you the great events that we now bring you. So
very cool. Love it, Jeff. And yeah, we're telling everyone about this thing. Cannot wait to reconnect with you in person. It's been so long, and we're just excited to come out and be part of this thing on the 9th, right before Oscar weekend, and the big event on Sunday. So, but it's also your birthday, you mentioned. So that's the thing. It's like a Jeff birthday pre-Oscar all-in-one arena. So that's cool. Happy birthday, Jeff, by the way. I have to say that.
I keep the main focus on the Oscars, but we slide in a little bit. Yeah, it's my birthday, you know.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, Jeff, thanks so much for taking time to talk with us today. And again, we look forward to seeing you on Thursday at the event. I'm just happy that you're representing what this entertainment industry should be about. It should be about engaging and face-to-face and building real relationships and building our careers in the process. So yeah, thanks again for doing that and inspiring so many in our community.
Well, you're very welcome, and glad to be on here with you today. Good to see you, Matt. It has been too long, but looking forward to seeing you in person on the 9th. Awesome. And looking forward to seeing everyone.
Great. Thanks so much, Jeff. Okay.
Oh.
That was
a great interview, Matt.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lizette. Well, I did have the luxury of doing some little minor little tweaks to kind of chop it up a little tighter, which we can't do when we were live. So we have to hit it out of the park when we do our thing.
Oh, yes, we have. And we've had some little, rocky moments, but we get through them somehow.
Hey, we're theater people, we come from the stage. When the show goes, when the curtain opens, we're going. That's it. Show goes on. Show must go on. You just
never know. I've toured for a national touring company, Man of La Mancha. I used to do musicals, and boy, did we have some moments on stage where I'm like, how did we get through that? I mean, we used to even play pranks on each other on stage, and we had to we would test each other sometimes, because when you do a show over and over and over again, you get a little bored sometimes, so you want to change it up. But then when you're throwing curveballs, you're just like, oh my God, where's my line? So it's just, you always got to be on when you're on stage. So that's the beauty of it. I feed off of audiences live. I've always loved that. So
awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we are live on the Sherwood Shakeup today. We are doing a pre-Oscar special on the Sherwood Shakeup. I'm Matt Weinglass. I'm here with co-host Lizette Santiago. And we have been covering everything Oscars this week on the show. And we have one last special thing for you guys today. We are going to play a game.
Yay! The Oscar game.
It's game time at Sherwood.
Game night. No,
it's game night. Is that already taken? We have to call it something else.
No, we have to put our the Sherwood. Oh gosh, I don't know. Sherwood Shakeup game up. Sherwood Shakeup game up. I don't know.
Well, so I was inspired by, because it was your idea to do this, Lizette, and I was actually inspired by some. There's a brand new branding in the NBA. This is basketball, so it's not. I know it's nothing to do with Oscars, but instead of East versus West, because the game is it's a versus, it's a competition, right? So instead of East versus West, the NBA decided to do, now they're doing Team LeBron versus Team Giannis, which I think has been quite successful. So what we decided to do today, everyone, is we decided to have a little Oscar game. It's game night, and we are going to be doing, we're calling this Team Lizette versus Team Matt. So there it is, Team Lizette versus Team Matt, because we are going to go head to head. It looks like,
and it's like Twilight, like the movie Twilight, where it's like Team Jacob, Team Edward.
That's right. So we're going to go head to head today on Oscar predictions, and whoever is we're gonna know the winner after Sunday, and know next week's episode we're gonna see who wins. So if you guys are playing along, if you're watching this live or on replay, go ahead and grab your own scorecards and try and keep up. You can either get in Team Matt or Team Lizette's corner. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch this around. Since it says Team Lizette, Team Matt, I'm going to do a little switch. Let's do this. Yes.
Oh, there we
Look
go.
at that. Okay.
That's my better side.
So you're Team Lizette this side, Team Matt this side. Okay.
Wonderful.
Cool. So we got all the the categories we all know and love. Best actors and director, and there's like screenwriting credits and or awards. There's editing. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Animation, documentary. Why don't we do this? We're gonna go through each one, and you and we're gonna decide who we think. We're gonna take a guess or who we think's gonna win, and then we'll score it. And then next week we'll see who got the highest score. So we're gonna tell our choices now, right, Matt? We're gonna do it in real time right now, live. And if you don't have an answer, Lizette, just take a guess and commit to it. Right? We're committing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Make the choice, commit, and then hope we win. Okay, let's go ahead and start Team Lizette versus Team Matt Oscar game.
Yeah, and I have some Oscars in the back, so I'm not just trying to get you to be on my team, but just kidding.
Okay, we're gonna start. Here we go.
Okay.
Look at this. Okay, we are starting with film editing. Okay, we have 5 great choices here. I'm gonna take the
wow, that's a tough one. Oh gosh, that's a tough one.
You want to go first on this one?
Yeah.
5 options.
Oh my God. Okay. I've seen the majority of these.
You've seen the majority. That's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would say, and based on the difficulty of the movie, it's between, for me, Top Gun Maverick or Everything Everywhere All at Once. And honestly, I think I'm going to go with Everything Everywhere All at Once. As much as I want to go with Top Gun.
Lizette goes with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think I'm going to be agreeing with you on this. I was going to say either Everything or Elvis, but I don't want to just say Elvis just to counter you, because I actually think Everything Everywhere All at Once. So I agree. So we score the same on film editing.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Good. Well, that's fine. That's fair. All right. Next. Documentary short film. Okay. Ooh. Have we seen these?
Have I heard of them? Possibly.
Okay.
Have I seen them? No.
Okay. So in this case,
yeah,
I'm gonna just take a shot in the dark on, because I've heard about these films. I can't see out of but hey, sometimes you just got to take a shot, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna go with the one that feels to me like the one that might cross the finish line here. I'm gonna go with number 1. I'm gonna go with The Elephant Whisperers. That's my final answer.
That's my final answer too.
No way.
Yes, that was because I feel like I've heard about that one.
You've heard of it? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, score us both the same. I mean, man, we are on the same wavelength so far. Okay. All right, next one. Okay, this is documentary feature. This is it's full-length feature film. So you want to take this one, Lizette?
Okay, let me look at this. Oh my gosh.
Oh, while you're doing that, I'm gonna put on some other music because I love the music stuff we do.
Oh my. Oh my gosh. It's between All That Breathes for me or A House Made of Splinters. Gosh, that sounds so interesting. I'm going to go with All That Breathes. That's my guess.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's
a tough one, right?
I'm going with Right in the Center, Fire of Love.
Fire of Love. Okay. Fire of Love, Matt.
Okay.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer. Okay. We finally split. Okay. Visual effects. Okay.
Oh, yes. Oh my goodness.
This is a big one. These are some very expensive films.
Yeah.
They've spent a ton of money on visual effects. So who spent the most money is going to win. No, I'm just kidding. Not really. Okay. I'm going to go with, and this is who I think is going to win, not who I want to win. I think Avatar.
That's exactly what I knew it was going to be. I know it's going to be Avatar. I know it's going to be Avatar. And you know what? Rightfully so. Did have good visual effects, you know?
That's
So
funny.
I guess we're both back.
We are both aligned on that. So we've only had one split so far. Okay.
Yeah,
Going to the next one. Here we go. Cinematography. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay,
Take
hold
this
on.
one. And I'm going to do this
Good
music
one.
up here.
That's a good one. Hold on.
There we go. Here's some good music.
It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Oh boy. Cinematography. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with
There we go.
All Quiet on the Western Front or Elvis. I think I'm gonna go with Elvis.
You mother. Okay. I swear to God, I was gonna say Elvis, and I really do think Elvis is gonna win this one. I'm like 99% sure Elvis is gonna win this one. But if someone was gonna steal it, it would be All Quiet on the Western Front. That would steal it.
Yeah, that was my second choice.
That would be steal. But I'm going on with Elvis with you. Wow, we are more aligned than I was hoping. I thought we were gonna be more like
split.
Yeah. Okay, well that's okay. That's so good. That's good. Okay. Next one, production design. Okay.
Oh boy.
Now, I'm, this is a tough one because sometimes we get confused because there's costume, there's production design, and then there's the visual effect. I think sometimes people get confused on the visual elements, but specifically with production design, we're talking about how they constructed these sets. I know Baz Luhrmann, Elvis, he's won this before. He did that with Moulin Rouge, if I'm not mistaken. Avatar could definitely get a second one here, but I'm gonna. And Fabelman's is up there just as a respect to Steven Spielberg. There's no way that one's gonna win production design. Maybe Babylon might steal it. I don't know. I'm really on the fence here, but you know what? I'm gonna double up on Elvis. I'm doubling up on Elvis.
I was gonna go with the Fabelman, but I'm like you. I don't know. It might go either way. Might give it to him. Give him to them. But I think I'm gonna go with Avatar.
Okay.
I really don't feel it though. I really don't feel it's Avatar. Maybe it's All Quiet on the Western Front. Shoot. You know what?
Yeah.
I don't think Avatar is gonna win. I don't know. I don't think so. So. I'm gonna go with All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay. Very good. Okay, we split this one. Going on. Here we are. Makeup and hairstyling. Okay. Now, yeah, I don't think Batman's going to win anything. Here's what I do think. I do think Elvis is in the mix again. I think The Whale is in the mix because of the work that was done on Brendan Fraser specifically.
You're right about that.
So, I'm just, God, am I feeling Elvis again? Am I going to go with it? Because The Whale, Elvis. Okay. I'm locking in a third vote for Elvis. I'm going all in on Elvis on this.
Elvis. Okay. Yeah. For me, honestly, I think it's between The Whale and Black Panther. And overall, even though they did a lot of makeup on Brendan Fraser, overall, Black Panther had way more, makeup design and hairstyling. So I'm going to go with Black Panther on this one.
Black Panther. Okay.
Wakanda forever. Yeah.
All right. Very good. Okay. We are into international feature film. If you want to take this one.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see. International. Oh, I'm going to go with All Quiet on the Western Front.
I'm going to double up with you. All Quiet on the Western Front is absolutely going to win international feature film. I think that's a lock. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing more to discuss on this one.
Nope.
All right. Next one. We are to an original song. Okay.
Ooh. My favorite.
So this is who got to promote this. Now this is a political category. Sometimes, a lot of the times, the original song, the best original song doesn't win. It's which vehicle was able to elevate that song the best. The vehicle being the movie, right? And the marketing. That's a issue because a lot of times the original song is not used in the movie. Sometimes it's not even done. You don't even hear it till the credits. So it's a marketing thing. So which best song is really the best song, or is it the marketing machine that got it to win? That's That's always an issue for me in this category.
Yeah,
So
I already know mine. So
I think that Top Gun did the best. Oh gosh, no, everything everywhere. God, and then there's the Black Panther one. You know what? Between those three, I'm gonna throw a little bone to Top Gun, because Top Gun has a history.
darn it, Matt.
Of good.
Ah,
They did it right. Top Gun did. They put every piece together how they did, and it reminds you of 1986.
Yeah.
How they packaged the soundtrack
yeah.
of the original, and like, let's go all out with this song. Okay, Top Gun, Hold My Hand, Lady Gaga, and Blood Pop. I don't even know who Blood Pop.
Yeah, that I'm just saying the same thing as you. I've always loved the Top Gun music, the original. The second one was just as good, and all you have to say is Lady Gaga. So
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Top
Lady
Gun.
Gaga.
All right.
My hand for sure.
All right, we're aligned. Okay, we are going on. Okay, animated feature.
Oh my God. Yeah. Is it my turn?
Go for it.
All right. I've seen it. I love it. I love them all because I'm an animated kind of cool person. I love Pinocchio. Hands down.
Oh man, you are so right, Lizette. Pinocchio is the winner. I'm not even gonna try and argue that. Pinocchio is the winner. Absolutely.
Best animation I've seen.
Absolutely. We'll
Hands
take
down.
it. Okay.
Hands down.
All right. Next one.
What's
We're
your
at short. Oh, yeah, Puss in Boots. Yeah, too bad. It's not gonna win. Pinocchio's gonna win. Let's just
Guillermo,
come on.
Guillermo.
Short film animated. Let's be honest with ourselves now. Have we seen any of these films? Or have you just heard of them?
No, actually, on this particular one, I haven't even heard of them.
Okay.
I do like that title though. My yurt.
Why don't you go with the dicks, and I'll go with the flying sailor, and we'll call it a day.
I'm calling that.
So
Just
Team Lizette is dicks. Team Matt is sailor. We're good.
Yeah. Team Lizette is dicks.
We got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next one. Short film live action. Again, same situation. Lizette, what is up with Sherwood? We actually have a annual film festival for short films, international short films. Why the hell are we not more engaged with the short film category? Why am I have to admit, I've not seen any of these or the animated ones, yet we like champion short films. So what are we doing? Are we
you bring up a good point. I guess that's something I'm going to start paying attention to. And documentaries. We love documentaries too. You produced a documentary. A few.
We're producing one right now, actually.
Yeah, we're producing one right now.
Yeah. So we should be a little more aware of what the environment in these genres are right now.
Yeah.
Let's do a little better next year.
We have homework to do now.
We have homework. We have some New Year's resolutions to do. Okay. Later on in the year. Okay. So I'm gonna take a stab at it, and I'm gonna go with the final answer at the end, the red suitcase.
And that's funny because I'm gonna go with the final answer, the top one, An Irish Goodbye.
Okay. All right. We'll see you at the winners. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Team Matt, Team Lizette, we're moving on to now. I love this category. Best original screenplay. And this to me comes down to two films. It's either going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once or The Fabelmans. Those are the only two that can win. And I am on the fence. So I didn't mean to set you up on that, but I kind of want to pass it to you before I make my final choice.
I honestly, as much as Everything All at Once, I think The Fabelman is going to win this one. So I'm going with that one.
You might be right, Lizette, but I'm just gonna. You know what? Everyone's talking about the script for Everything Everywhere, but they're all talking about the Fabelman script too. They're both very, very well received. So you know what? Just to keep it interesting, I'm going all in on Everything Everywhere All at Once for original screenplay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I was first, but I feel like I don't know.
You went going with Spielberg.
Yeah.
You know why? because Spielberg is finally told a story that comes from his actual personal experience.
Yes, and Tony too. Tony Kushner. He does a lot of good stuff too, writing wise. So yeah, you know.
So this is his baby. This is Spielberg. Not Jaws, not E.T., not anything. This is his baby. Isn't that interesting to wait to 75 years old to say I'm going to do my story? How interesting. I mean, it's kind of humbling, really, when you think about it. Anyways, I do hope he wins, but I just went with everything. Okay.
Oh, Guillermo too. I went to when I went to see his screening of Pinocchio. He was working on that for 15 years. That was his baby. That was his project. So he held out for 15 years because he wanted to make sure it was done right, and it was. So.
Excellent. All right, moving on. We're getting to the meaty ones now. Okay, adapted screenplay. Okay.
Oh,
you want to take this?
I don't know if I can. No. Let me think. Oh boy. You know what? Gosh. Glass onions out for me.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say no way in hell is
way.
Glass Onion. Am I gonna vote for that one?
I'm going to this. All Quiet on the Western Front, Living, or Maverick, because Maverick was a good adapted screenplay. You know, it was pretty good. It was a unique thing. But I know All Quiet on the Western Front is really good too. Oh my.
We need a final answer, Lizette.
Maverick. I'm going Maverick.
I'm going out on a limb. I believe Women Talking is going to win this category.
Really?
It is a play adapted into a film, and as we know, theater people, we love character-driven pieces that take place in literally one location in real time. That's the film. So it's all acting. It's all acting, and it's all language and verbiage and writing. That's all. If you don't have that, you don't have a film. So I will personally applaud this adaptation, and to be able to have these characters come to life in such a theatrical way in a film, just to be contained and have the words do the talking, and you don't need anything else. You don't need any special effects. You don't need all this crazy editing, just the words. Anyways, I'm done giving my my pitch for Women Talking, but I'm curious about
that one.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Next one. We are going to original score. Music. Much different than original song. Original score, that actually drives the entire piece. See, that's when we feel it the entire way, and this is when I feel is more lined up with the film itself. And I'm gonna go with Everything Everywhere All at Once.
You know, it's between that for me, but you know what? I'm feeling Everything Everywhere All at Once too.
Okay.
So that's
very good. All right, moving on. Sound. Okay. Oof. Do you want to get this? I don't.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. This is a tough one. You know what? Yeah. No, this one is between Avatar, Elvis, and Top Gun. Sound. Top Gun. Maverick, Top Gun. Yeah.
You're going with Top Gun.
Yeah.
Man, I want to agree with you. I think the only one else that could win besides Top Gun would be Avatar.
Yep.
So just to keep it interesting, I'm going to go with Avatar.
Avatar, wonderful.
Okay. All right, we're getting to the final ones here. Okay. Oh, wait, costume design. Okay. Can I just do this one quickly? I'm not even gonna. Oh man, I was just gonna say Elvis, but now I'm thinking Everything Everywhere. It's either those two.
Huh. I was thinking Elvis or Black Panther.
You know what? Black Panther is not a bad one on this one. That's not a bad one.
I'm gonna go with Black Panther again.
Okay.
This one.
Okay. Again, I can't get away from Baz Luhrmann and his production design and his beautiful costumes. I was gonna say Elvis. No, I'm going all in with everything. Everything everywhere.
All right.
Final answer.
Final answer.
I mean, the costumes are ridiculously crazy in that film. They're
They are.
absolutely ridiculous. Okay. All right. Next one. Here we go.
Oh,
We are to the acting now.
I already know
Okay.
my answer for this one. Can I go on this one?
Yes, please go.
Because I love her so much and I want her to win all the time. I'm going with Angela Bassett.
In a Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's my answer. No, she was good too. Stephanie from Everything All at Once.
She was really good, but there's only so many that one can win, and we know that the actors are up for it as well. So I'm not going to give away all of the acting to everything, and I'm just going to throw in. I'm going to do a wild card on this.
All right.
And I haven't seen this film, but I've heard really, 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 really good things about the two Leslie performance.
Okay.
By Andrea Riseborough, and I'm just gonna it's a wild card, and I don't think I have it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it just because why not? But I think you might be right about Angela Bassett.
She's so phenomenal.
Okay. I'm just doing a curveball. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. We're now going to actor in a supporting role.
Oh boy. I think
Right,
I know this.
I'm gonna jump on this one.
You jump
I'm gonna
on
jump on this one.
I might
Everything
have to
everywhere. Everything everywhere. I think he gets it. I think he gets it.
I'm gonna second that.
Kehoi Kwan, I think he gets it.
It was between him or Judd Hirsch from The Fabelmans, but oh man, now that I look at it, no, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, I'm going for that one.
All right.
Shoot myself in the foot if it's him.
Team Matt, Team Lizette, we're aligning more than not, I think. At least half of them, I think. Okay. All right. We are now to actress in a leading role. Take it away, Lizette.
Oh, come on. Everything Everywhere All at Once. She won a SAG award. I have a feeling she's going to win an Oscar. Michelle. So, yeah.
I agree. I can't get away from it. It has to be Michelle Yeoh.
Yep.
Best actress. Okay. We're agreeing on that one. We're to best actor. And I'm going to jump right in and say there's no way Brendan Fraser is losing this award. Brendan Fraser, The Whale.
And you know what? I will second that because if he doesn't win, wow. So Brendan Fraser.
Austin Butler was amazing, and he has a whole big, long career ahead of him. But we know how these things work, and a lot of times these can be kind of career nods, and Brendan Fraser got... And this goes, you know what? There might be some activism involved here because we know what he went through. We know that he was blacklisted. We know what happened. He was Me Too'd.
Yep.
And it's time that he gets some payback and say, you know what? Look what I can do all these years later after not seeing him on the screen. Yeah, it's time. And Austin Butler will have plenty of opportunity. But if someone was going to come in and steal from it, it would be Elvis. But I don't think that's happening. Brendan Fraser will get the award.
Yeah, he also won the SAG Actor Award. So I just feel that says a lot right there too.
Exactly. All right. We're to the final two. We got director and best picture. Let's get to director. Team Matt, Team Lizette going head to head here. And we have an incredible lineup here of directors. I think some of these movies got kind of thrown in here. It's great, but they don't really have a chance. I don't think Todd Field doesn't have a chance. I don't think the Banshees director, Martin McDowell, has a chance. I don't think anyone here has a chance except the duo director team that did everything and Steven Spielberg. Those are the only two I think. I'm sorry. I don't think the others have a chance. That's just my opinion. It's Spielberg or it's the Everything Everywhere team. And
you know what? I agree with you, but I'm going with Steven on this one because this, like you said, was a passionate story. He's a director. He deserves it. Yeah. And the other crew too, they're great, but I'm going with Steven on this one.
Man, this is such a coin flip for me. I think you might be right on Steven. Man, it is the passion project. I really want him to win it. I think it's time to like celebrate real personal stories. And for a guy who's done all these big war films and big like all these fantasy films, and just it's like, let's get personal here. And I think he hit it out of the park, and I'm gonna double up with you on Steven Spielberg. And here we go. That takes us to the last category here for our Oscar game. Team Matt versus Team Lizette, or is it Team Lizette versus Team Matt? Let's see who's gonna win this last one. Best Picture. Holy crap!
Wow.
We have 10 Best Picture nominations, and as a lot of people know or don't know, they changed the rules of Best Picture. It's unlike any other category. And it's been this way for several years now. I think a good 12, 13 years now. I'm not exactly sure when they started this rule change. There's no longer just 5. There's a grading scale where they do like a 1 through 10 on these, and they have to qualify to a level. So you won't necessarily have 10, you won't necessarily have 5, but you'll have somewhere in the middle of 5 to 10 based on the scorecards. It's very weird. So sometimes you have 9, sometimes you have 8. So this year we have 10. And then when it comes to voting on these final 10, they're not, these Academy voters, they're not choosing a film. They're doing it's called ranked voting. And it's the only category that does this. So they're ranking voting on everyone, a scorecard. And one of these films has to get 50%, I believe, is the rule. How you get that from all the different ranks.
Right.
Whoever crosses that echelon is the winner. Very weird, very weird. But hey, maybe it's more accurate. Maybe it's more accurate than just I choose this one, screw the other ones.
It gives more opportunity too to people to see.
Yeah.
A better selection.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, well let's go in for the kill. What are you thinking, Lizette? Who wins Best Picture of 2020?
I have my answer. I all of them were fantastic. But honestly, hands down, Everything All at Once. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
And I am gonna battle you back against that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna agree with you. It's Everything Everywhere All at Once will win Best Picture.
What would have been your second choice?
My second choice, I mean, after going through these categories, here's what I would do. I wouldn't have, first of all, I wouldn't have 10 nominations. I don't, as great as Top Gun is, it shouldn't be a best film. I'm sorry. Even Women Talking, it's an incredible ensemble piece, incredible screenplay, but I don't think, best film has to have all these elements. I would knock 5 of these off right away. And I would do Everything. I would do Fabelmans. I would do Elvis. I guess Avatar and Quiet on the West. Those would be my 5. I would get the other 5 out of there, and then I'd go from there. That's how I would do it.
I would think it'd be the Fabelmans next. I'm surprised. Well, I'm surprised The Whale wasn't on this. Whale,
The Whale should,
right? It should have been on this.
Yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, everything's gonna take it.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, that ends our game today for first Oscar show, our Oscar special. We had a good time playing the game. I hope you guys did too, watching, if you're watching at home. Oh my God, we missed all of the feedback, but I'm going to do this. Oh shoot, I was so engaged in the game, I forgot to put up these.
Steve Brock said Judd. I should have gone with Judd. But it's okay. I'm sticking to it. But that was my original first choice, and then I changed it.
We have a few different contradicting from messages from the people watching, which is good because we want debate, right? We want to have counter stuff.
Yeah.
I should have had these up during the actual game, but we do know that we do have Leslie, of course, she's a fan of, I know this, I watched this with her. She's a fan of Women Talking, so that's good. And Elvis, we saw Elvis together too, so we had both had great experience. Thanks, Leslie, for writing in. I don't know which category which one she's writing in, because both got several nominations. And then we have Steve. Obviously, he had something to
Black
say.
Panther.
Okay, yeah, Steve agrees. Steve agrees it's either going to be everything or Fableman. So that's
what he
we're
said.
right
Yep.
aligned. Thank you, Steve.
Yep, we agreed on that. It's
Yeah.
gonna be either everything or Fableman. I agree, 100%. Steve.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. And again, when we do this next year, we're gonna figure out how to have a little more engagement in real time because I wasn't able to look at the comments as we were going through the scrolling. So my apologies, everyone.
Stephanie, Steve said controversy with one of the actors.
No, we just had different, like, for example, I'll pick one out here. And it's Steve again. He's talking about Judd Hirsch. We completely missed it, and he's doing this in capital letters. So he's telling us we're wrong.
Yeah, and
Team Lizette and Team Matt are both wrong according to Steve. Judd Hirsch is going to win.
I had a feeling. That was my first intuitive feeling, and then I switched over because that guy was a good actor too. That guy from Everything. I forget his name. Everything, all, everywhere, all at once. He was really.
Thank you for that, Steve. Oh, he did say it was it was Stephanie Hugh. That she was a That's what he was saying. She's a controversy, right?
I don't know what the controversy is, but wow, okay.
But neither of us chose her. So
no, I did say, didn't I say she was good too, though? But
yes, you did. Yeah, she was good, but I said I was going to hold off because they were the best actor, and of course, best film. We ended up thinking that for sure it's going to win best film. So
I just feel like it's going to be Angela Bassett. I don't know. That's just my gut. You know.
Yeah.
So, it'd be great if she went to Marvel. You know, that'd be hysterical. I would love it.
So I have to make one correction, and Steve pointed this out in a private chat. I'm going to make one correction, and I need you to do this. I need you to do this. Jamie Lee Curtis, there was a switch up on one of them. Jamie Lee Curtis was the supporting actress.
Right.
It should have been the To Leslie was the one I heard. She was a controversy. I guess that's the one Steve's saying was the controversy. That was for Best Actress. So I'm not actually going for that for Best Actress because Best Actress is going to be Everything Everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I would like you to then change because I would have said Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm going with her actually for supporting actress. Can you please change Team Matt to Jamie Lee Curtis, please?
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Knowing that, I'll still stick with my
Okay.
So
Very good. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to this episode. We're gonna wrap things up here, but the Oscar game we're done with now. We're gonna be back next week at the same time. We're gonna be announcing the winners of who's gonna win, Team Matt or Team Lizette, next week on the next episode of the Shakeup. And
Oscar's back here. Just kidding.
And we hope that everybody can join us if you're in Hollywood, in West Hollywood, you can join us at Sky Bar at Jeffrey Gunn's InfoList Pre-Oscar Soiree happening Thursday night, March 9th in West Hollywood at Sky Bar. Go to infolist.com for tickets.
And he has a lot of events. I've been to his Comic-Con events. I've been to a lot of his events, and they're always cool. You meet a lot of good people and red carpet. It's so cool. He's a great guy. And his events are awesome. I always have fun at them. So he has a lot of things that happen at them. So we talk about networking. It's a really good networking opportunity to go to his event. So
absolutely. And we hope you guys will join us there on Thursday. And then of course, find a cool Oscar party to go to if you're not going to be in the actual room.
Yes.
Go to a cool Oscar, little fun, kind of living room party or backyard party or anything you guys can find, but do it. It's definitely an engaging type of situation for Oscar Sunday, which we all want to be part of. So.
And we didn't discuss this. What are your plans for Oscar night, for Oscar?
Well, we did have an invite by someone in the Sherwood community. I will talk to you about it after because I don't know if we want to announce it because I don't know if he has enough room in his place to have everybody come. It's a small group.
I get it.
I'm sure
you have
invited.
plans.
I'm sure you're invited, Lizette. But we'll talk about it after the show because I don't want to just put up an address for everyone to just show up.
And I think I told you about this, Matt, but I have a huge event Saturday. I'm so happy. I'm going to an Oscar gift giving suite.
Oh, very cool.
I've always wanted to do one of those. So this is such a fun experience. I can't wait to tell you all about it when, They
Excellent.
usually give gifts to everybody. There's going to be a lot of celebrities there, Entertainment E, a whole bunch of news people. So I'm really, we'll have a sneak peek.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it, Lizette. And we're going to talk about how everything went next week. Next Tuesday, we'll be back here on the Sherwood Shakeup for another episode where we're going to be announcing the winners of Team Matt versus Team Lizette for the Oscar night. And we'll share some stories of how it went over the weekend. And next week's guests, we will be announcing them shortly, but we are doing a special comedy episode next Tuesday on the Shakeup. It's a comedy special where we're going to talk about comedy in LA. We have some special guests booked to come on and talk about the comedy scene and how it's changed over the last 3 years.
Yes.
I think it is technically, next week will be technically 3 years. 3 years since the California lockdown went into effect.
Yes.
So we're gonna check out the comedy scene and see how things have been going. So that should be fun. And
I can't wait to see the Oscars on Sunday to see if there's any craziness that happens this year.
That's right. If we're gonna get another slap, we'll have to tune in.
Oh, please no. Positive energy for everybody. I think it's Jimmy Kimmel was listening. I'm almost sure.
Hey, Leslie says, hey, maybe this time they will have more security. That's yeah.
I agree, Leslie. Yeah. I agree, 100%.
Right. Correct. So, awesome. On that note, I think that about does it for today's episode. This has been fun doing a little Oscar game and going through Oscar memories and talking Oscar gossip and politics, and it's been very cool. So thanks for being with us today. Thank you, Lizette.
And
yes, very cool. And I want to make sure people know they can definitely follow us. Go to the socials. You can follow at Sherwood Players on all the social medias. You can certainly go to our website, sherwoodplayers.com. You can sign up for our mailing list. You'll be first to hear about our upcoming events, auditions for projects. We got some big stuff in the works. And definitely on YouTube right now, make sure you hit like and subscribe to our channel. You'll be first to be notified about our upcoming stuff, not to mention when we upload new content, which is all the time. And we'll be giving updates on happenings the rest of March and April. We got some exciting things planned as well. So thanks. That's it. Do you have anything else you want to add, Lizette? Did you have a good time today?
No, I just can't wait to see who's going to win our little game. Do we give each other an Oscar if we win?
I think we should one of us should get an award on behalf of our team. So we should come up with that, a presentation, and we should give a speech. Whoever wins should have their acceptance speech ready to go. The other one has to promise not to slap the shit out of that person while they're giving their Oscar speech, because that would be not cool.
Horrible. And it hurts. So yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it. No violence, guys. Come on.
Violence.
Punch your pillow instead.
No violence, no cursing. Unless you have a little road rage. No, I'm kidding. That's not even cool either.
Yeah. All right. Well, that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for tuning into the Sherwood Shakeup. I'm Matt Weinglass.
Yeah. I'm Lizette Santiago.
That's right. And we'll see you guys next week on the next episode. Until then, Sherwood Players, character driven.